Coming up on Mountain News at 6, lawmakers get an update on the state transportation cabinet's work on roads and bridges in eastern Kentucky. And when one door closes, another door opens, even if it's in a different building. Students return to the classroom at Fleming Neon Middle School.
Plus, after a warm start to the week, a much more fall-like vibe is on the way the next couple of days. That breakdown is ahead as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A tremendous amount of work has been done to repair roads and bridges damaged or destroyed by the flooding in eastern Kentucky. Now state officials wait to see if FEMA will reimburse most of the costs the state has incurred. The Transportation Secretary gave Kentucky lawmakers an update today. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more from Frankfort.
A very clear directive was given to the Transportation Secretary by Governor Beshear when flooding first devastated eastern Kentucky.
And it was, Jim, we've got to make these roads passable.
2 months later, Gray says there's been tremendous progress as he had before and after pictures to show lawmakers during his testimony.
We've cleared the enormous accumulation of flood debris, both from the rights-of-way and from area waterways.
Of 1,100 bridges, 175 needed repairs. One of those was this one in Perry County. There's also been a number of private bridges leading to people's homes. He says the state is working with people on those complex issues.
A lot of work that has to be done as it relates to working with FEMA for reimbursements, what might be available, and how we work with the counties.
And Gray says there's been a lot of neighbor helping neighbor through all of this. Agency helping another agency, the state helping the county, and no one ever saying that's not my responsibility to get that done. Lawmakers are appreciative of the work that's been done.
The creeks look really good where they're cleaning those out. Kentucky 28, Kentucky 476, 550 in my district.
I want to compliment from the top down and the bottom up, because those guys are working hard, and I know you all are.
Gray says the state believes FEMA will eventually provide the reimbursements they need to pay for the road and bridge replacements. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
State officials say through 11 pop-up sites, they were able to help more than 3,000 people replace their lost driver's licenses or other forms of ID. Well, have you applied for FEMA assistance? If not, you still have time, but it could be quickly running out. FEMA officials say you have until September 28th to register. That's about a week from today. You can do that by calling the FEMA helpline at 800-621-3362, visit disasterassistance.gov, or use the FEMA mobile app. Now, speaking of the deadline, Congressman Hal Rogers and other lawmakers joined together to ask today for a 30-day extension to allow people to seek funding to rebuild their homes and repair properties. No word on if that will be granted yet, and many times it is, though. The letter to FEMA explains, quote, more time is needed for those who have not yet been able to register, and this extension will help ensure our most vulnerable families are not left behind, end quote. Of course, we'll let you know if that deadline is extended. One family in Floyd County is recovering from flooding but are still in mourning following the death of their father, grandfather, and husband. Philip Cottle, a firefighter at Garrett Volunteer Fire Department in Floyd County, died in late May, leaving behind his wife, children, grandchildren, and many friends. Just 2 months later, his wife and his son's homes in Wayland were heavily damaged during the flooding. Now, 4 months after Cottle's passing, his family continues to recover and say they are standing together to fight one day at a time.
He would probably tell everybody, you know, just hang tight, we'll get through it. We've got to stand together, and together then we can overcome anything.
Philip Cottle's wife, Pam Cottle, says she did save some of her husband's belongings from the floodwaters as well as some photos. We'll have more from the Cottle family and what they've been through tonight at 11. Images of a fire truck stranded on a creek bank resting underneath a bridge in Knott County were all over the internet after the flood. Today, WYMT's Olivia Calfee talked with the Hindman Volunteer Fire Department chief about their plans for this historic fire engine.
This is the fire engine that was seen across the nation after the late July flooding swept it into a creek bank.
This truck has been all around. It's been one of the most moving and pivotal images of the flood. You can find an image of this anywhere.
Chief Preston Hayes says the truck has a long history.
It's fought a lot of fires. It's been here for a long time. It's near and dear to everybody. To see the truck in the shape that it's in right now, it's devastating, especially to people that came before us, that's still around, that's had to see it every day.
Former Secretary Treasurer James Sloan says he wrote the check to purchase the truck 47 years ago, and seeing it like this breaks his heart.
Made me cry. Broke my heart. I mean, there's a lot of people got hurt a lot worse than the fire department did, I'm sure, and I know there were lives lost and stuff like that, and I wish I could change all that, but I can't. But yeah, it took the wind out of me when I saw it torn up and under the bridge like this.
The fire department chief says they plan to raise money by selling T-shirts to restore the truck into a moving monument.
We would like to possibly get some funding to bear a plaque with all of the victims from Knott County or the flood altogether, put it on the truck, and take it to parades. I mean, it's a big image that come out of the flood, and we would like to take that and try to put it in a positive way instead of a negative way.
Hoping to remind the people in eastern Kentucky that they will come back stronger.
We're not going to give up. And like it says on our shirt, the motto is this does not define us. Just because we're in a hard way right now doesn't mean we're going to stay there.
Restoring hope by restoring the fire engine. In Knott County, Olivia Kelfie, WYMT Mountain News.
You can find more information about buying a T-shirt on WYMT.com.
Yeah, plenty of warm weather out there this evening as we head from afternoon to evening, though some of us are starting to cool off a little bit thanks to some showers and storms developing into the region. A look right now from our camera at Pikeville, US 119, US 23 intersection, light green there, so we're starting to see some movement there. Over towards Slade on the Mountain Parkway, getting the latest image, we're watching an increase in some shower activity, and that's really cooling us off. Middle and upper 80s still at this hour. Dew points upper 60s to near 70, so it feels closer to the low to mid 90s around the region. Here's the latest look of the Pinpoint Doppler, and we're already seeing a couple of spots with some better shower chances. Southern parts of Morgan County, eastern parts of Elliott County, and right on top of or heading toward downtown Beattyville there in Lee County, seeing a few showers. So we'll continue to see the potential for those thunderstorms through the evening hours. Now, coming up, I'll have the details on what that means as we head toward the weekend coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Developing story now we're following. Johnson County school officials say a former employee and girls basketball coach was, quote, indicted on multiple counts of inappropriate conduct. The district did not release the name of the person or the exact charges, but did say the district's priority is the safety and welfare of all its students. School officials said Kentucky State Police is in charge of the investigation. We are working to learn more. Harlan County Public Schools released a statement today on social media letting the community know a student was arrested this morning. Officials say a female student pulled the fire alarm, which led to the evacuation of the building and units from the Harlan Fire Department responding to the school. School officials said after the false alarm, the student was arrested and charged with second-degree disorderly conduct. Today marked the first day back for Letcher County schools following the devastating flood in late July. With several schools in the district heavily damaged, students, faculty, and staff have had to make some adjustments, like opening doors to students at other schools. WYMT's Alyssa Williams was at Fleming Neon Middle School to learn about some of the changes they are facing this school year.
In this 8th grade language arts class at Fleming Neon Middle School, students are asked to reflect on their experience with the flood, something 7th grade teacher Michael Sparks knows all too well.
It was overwhelming, to be honest with you, because along with so many students that we've had, I'm also a flood victim as well who lost pretty much everything. So I know firsthand what some of these kids went through.
But faculty and staff at the school are hoping to help everyone find a sense of solace in the classroom.
Even under normal circumstances, we're excited to see them. We love our students here, and that's genuine. But today it was even more special because we get to see that they're safe. We know that when they're with us that they're safe, and that means a lot.
But because Martha Jane Potter Elementary was damaged in the flood, those students are also being housed on the Fleming Neon campus.
To see where we started and to see where they are today and where we're going. You know, we're not done. Our buildings are going to be restored and we're going to be moving them back into their buildings, and they're going to be better than ever.
Because of the additional students, each middle school grade level is spread across the campus in various buildings, but teachers say the students are doing their best to adjust.
Kids are far more resilient than even adults are to some extent. And so they will adapt and they'll be all right. And it's our job to provide a safe, caring, educational environment for them, and that's what we'll strive to do.
Hoping to continue educating the young minds of Letcher County, whatever way that may look like. In Neon, Alyssa Williams, WYMT, Mountain News.
Those with Letcher County schools say they hope to have Martha Jane Potter Elementary open this December so those students can resume classes there, and so 6th and 8th graders can return to the main building. A body was located near Grundy in southwest Virginia. Now police are trying to figure out what happened. The Buchanan County Sheriff's Office said deputies were called to the bank of the Leviza River in Buchanan County around 7:30 this morning. A body was located in the area of 6 and 20 Mile Branch. Police say the victim has been identified and is a man, but they are not releasing the name until they can notify all the family. Officers say the investigation is ongoing, but at the moment they do not suspect foul play. Williamsburg police are investigating what they are calling a hit and run at Riverside Produce. That incident happened on Saturday. Police say a witness described the car as a black or dark colored vehicle and said it was possibly a Volkswagen. Anyone with information is asked to call Whitley County Dispatch at 606-549-6017.
Well, after a summer farewell today, we're saying hello to fall tomorrow with much more appropriate temperatures. The latest on the way, including the latest on these storms next. Plus,
cheerleaders lost everything in Neon due to the flood, so now they are raising money to buy some new equipment. More on how the team is rebuilding coming up.